Hey guys, and happy 11/11/2020. I'm doing this live, or if you're watching it later, this replay of this live, to explain a little bit about the numbers 11/11, and particularly today's date, 11/11/2020, in regard to numerology and the tarot. So a lot of people don't realize, when we look at the tarot or numerology, we look at them at the surface level. And the surface level of these things, they might appear to be just fun or silly, but at a much deeper level, they point us to some really universal truths about our soul and about our journey into ourselves and the deep pathways of meditation and the mystery of our own consciousness. So 1111 is a really powerful number, and I wanted to break it down for you numerologically. I went ahead and pulled some tarot cards that are associated with the numerology of the day. The first number that I want to talk about is the number 1. So when you see ones repeated, they're always referencing the number 1. And the number 1 is really powerful. And I know a lot's been written and said about the number 1, but in the tarot and in numerology, it reminds us, it's a symbol of a particular type of truth. And this is the truth of as above, so below, as within, so without. It's also a truth that reminds us, like the number 1 almost looks like a magic wand, you can think about it as. It reminds us that we have the capacity to recognize our own will and enact our will in the world. So if you have a deep desire, something you'd really, you're wishing for from your heart, a vision for the goodness of humanity that you'd like to put out in the world, 1 is the number for that. It's the number of saying, okay, I'm calling in all the powers I have at my disposal, the power of my mind to think, the power of my imagination to envision the world I'd like to see, the power of my body and my actions to take form in, thought and word and deed. And that is the number of the magician. And that's why I love this deck. This guy is a great reminder, because the magician in this deck is just clearly very playful. He's literally playing music to call it in. I'll also show you a more traditional version of the magician from the Builders of the Adytum deck. And that's here. And here you see a more traditional magician with the wand. And you see above this magician and also above this magician's head, there's an infinity symbol. And that's to remind us that we have this capacity not just to our own higher faculties, but this thing that connects us somehow and mysteriously to that which is beyond ourselves, our communities, the people who have built us up, the places who have built us up, the energies that have built us up and sustain us as we call in that which we'd most like to create. And I'm not talking about, although you sort of do this, like when you're like, oh, I want to make a sandwich, sure. But I'm talking more about the deep desire of the heart, the thing that if you don't pursue, you'll never really be satisfied in this lifetime. So that's the number 1. The next number that comes up in the 1111 time scheme is the 11. And I'd just like to talk to you about the 11 really quick. It is the card of justice. And so here's a more traditional justice. Here's the justice card as imagined by the Gaian Tarot, which I really like. And justice is not like a justice that you would go see if you got a parking ticket or whatever, you had a legal issue. It's not like our human idea of justice where someone is standing there judging you, right? Justice is, in the tarot and in numerology, the idea that there is an order underlying all of natural reality. So it's not that we have arbitrary laws that we've kind of made to make things easier or whatever, right? Like, oh, you have to pay a tax on this date, or you have to follow these traffic laws. That's not it. the justice here is the justice of balance. It's the idea of karma, which again ties back to your own actions and capacity to create. Because when you put something out in the world, there's an equal and opposite response. So, if you put a lot of love out into the world in one direction, a lot of love is likely to come back at you. So that's a great example of justice, right? Again, not justice as in punishment, although sometimes if we take punishing actions, we feel a bit punished afterwards. But the justice of sort of what goes around comes around, and hopefully what we are sending around is the highest good that we can in any particular moment, responding the best way that we know how. 2 more cards for you to discuss this. So the next card I want to discuss is the 4, because 1111, 1111 adds up to the number 4. So it's also intrinsically related to the number 4. And again, we're tying into this theme of what we are trying to create. Oh, and Yvonne, you say karma is justice. I love it. Yeah, karma is justice. And it's not karma like some kind of divine punishment. Karma is sometimes used as saying, but karma is just the simple fact that what you do creates responses. So if you want to see a change in the world, you can be that change in the world. If you want something to happen, you can make it happen. And the tarot, pictorially and symbolically is depicting this by line up with your will, figure out exactly what it is, have a one-pointed purpose, and then go out and make it. And karma then will be good. Karma will start to create that which you have envisioned. So then it leads us to this. In this deck, it's called the Builder. Well, actually, she's written it as the Emperor also here. And then a more traditional Emperor. And this is something, it's often associated in the Kabbalah and the Tarot with the divine masculine aspect of our psyches. So whether you're in a biologically masculine body or not, it doesn't matter. This is a part of your psyche. And it's depicted by this, in this deck, I love it, this builder who's making a really exquisite design of his own making. And so he's really taking something in the natural world. He's aligning with nature, so he's doing it outdoors. And once you align with nature, you can begin to put your vision out in the world. So the 4 here is really telling you to create the structures you need. So the 1, draw into your mind, what do you want? What do you really want? The 11, remember that whatever you really want, whatever you put out there, that energy is going to multiply and come back to you. Like it's going to be good. And then the 4 reminds us that we have the potential to create and carve out those spaces, create the boundaries, for your time. This is how much time I'm spending on my, my soul purpose project. This is the resources I am going to devote to it. These are the types of activities I'm going to do to build it up, the people I'm going to connect with. That's all Builder, Emperor stuff. And then one more special for today only. 11/11/2020 is actually numerologically an 8. And so for this very special 11/11/2020, we bring in the Strength card, which is like 2 4s, to support us. And it's always shown in the tarot as a beautiful woman with a lion. And the beautiful woman and the lion are friends. And this is symbolic of another part of our higher and lower nature. So all of us have this higher capacity for reasoning, for kindness, for working with ourselves to create what we'd like. And all of us also have the lion part of ourselves, which in this case represents our lower nature and our, we're hungry, we're thirsty, we're sleepy, all those drives that we have to do to care for ourselves. And this is about coming into alignment, the higher self and the body. And so for this 11/11 particularly, it's reminding us of this really beautiful truth in the Strength card, which is that true strength doesn't come from the subjugation of your body or the subjugation of your reasoning, thinking mind. Like, neither one totally needs to be put down, but it comes through the drawing together of them, the saying, okay, I'm going to treat myself so well. I'm going to treat my mind and my body and my needs so well that they'll fall in line with each other, and we'll actually move into a space of deep integration and love, and that reminds us of strength. And of course, this is the other card in the tarot, which has the magician's symbol above the head. The young woman has the infinity sign, which is just reminding us of the unity and oneness of everything. So today's a powerful day. Call in what you want to call in. And whether you're watching this on 11/11 or not, remember that this is a great reminder of these capacities. It's a great time to tune into your alignment with these things. But even if you missed the day 11/11, you can call in these potencies. You have these things at your disposal. And if you'd like to know more about numerology or learn about your personal birth numerology, just send me an email or set up a free 15-minute consultation. We can talk about them, or you can sign up for a paid reading. All of those are available through the link in my bio or on my website. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll post this soon on IGTV and YouTube. And have a happy 11/11. Bye, guys.